Laura Maydón, Managing Director, Endeavor Miami. I started my career in investment banking in Mexico City, but focused on helping clients on the private equity side. And then after my MBA, I was lucky enough to get a job with an investment fund, a private equity fund that was based in Chicago. And we were investing in Latin America. So I lived in Chicago. Then post-crisis, one of the crises of Latin America, the fund closed, and at that point I got a job here to do M&A for a Coca-Cola bottling company. That's how I came to Miami. It was work-related, and I work for a fantastic leader who is here in Miami as well, Annette Frankie. And I did M&A for this Coca-Cola bottling company and also investor relations. And then we sold the company. And at that point, and this company was a New York Stock Exchange public company. And then once it was sold, I really wanted to stay in Miami. And at that point, there were none opportunities for private equity in Latin America. Very few headquarters, none of them had M&A here in Miami. So I had to be creative, and I joined Visa, the payments company, in their strategic alliances group, which was similar to what I was doing. And then within Visa, I had a great experience. I had a great career and was able to go through different areas, business areas. So I did business development and alliances, and then at the end, product development as well for Latin America. So I think I've always been very entrepreneurial in nature, so now the word is entrepreneurial, right? I've always had the fortune to work in things that allow me to multitask and do different projects at the same time. Also, to be a self-started, I like new product development, right? Like I needed to develop a new product, launch it, and then make sure it happened. Similar to my investment background, identifying good investment opportunities, whether when I was at the fund or at the in my M&A mergers and acquisition role in Panamco, that gave me also the both the investor perspective, but then once you own it, you have to make sure it works. So I would say that's a summary of launching new things, working in different markets, and also, I have a finance background, so I have a very strong investor perspective. My role has been basically to launch the operation, to really focus first on selection, strongly, looking for these high impact entrepreneurs, and then also, building the team and recruiting our mentors. I'm very lucky that I have a very engaged board of directors, which are amazing business leaders that have supported me, since I started. So the first year I mostly used their time for selection. And now slowly we've been growing both sides, the entrepreneur side and also the mentors are according to the needs of the entrepreneurs. This year we've selected Juha and Johanna Mikola from Wincode. I think they're a great example of leaders in the community that came from abroad, originally from Finland, and launched last year Wincode, which offers boot camps, coding boot camps, and then they have also 90% placement rate. So they're really closing. One of the challenges that Miami has is talent development, right? Attracting good talent, and they're really helping close the gap. So it's education and it's job creation as well, job development. I mean, I'm pretty involved still because we are what we would consider a startup, right? It's just 2 years. So my job is to make my team comfortable to really be able to empower them to be able to do their own activities. And while they gain that confidence, I'm very involved. I'm there for them. But so my role is to supervise the team for all the processes, but I also very engaged with our entrepreneurs. So in selection, I participate. I make sure I meet the entrepreneurs that are moving through our process. In services, I'm very engaged also with my Endeavor entrepreneurs because that's the new part for us, right? Making sure that we're really helping them grow. And then I take my responsibility for recruiting mentors as well. Entrepreneurs go through a very thorough selection process. They're basically first vetted by my team, and then once we think that they fit the criteria, they meet with different mentors, world-class business people, entrepreneurs, or investors that interview them. Then the ultimate, the last part in the selection is that they present at an international panel. So all Endeavor affiliates, and we're 23 affiliates, we're present in 23 countries around the world, present their top candidates in this international panels. So we're truly a global organization. I think we're the only organization that supports entrepreneurship around, with the global reach. And all entrepreneurs have to be selected unanimously by an international panel. So it's a very tough process. We support 9 companies, and we're hoping to add more towards the end of the year. So we have 2 more international panels. So we will be presenting candidates in both of them. So hopefully we'll end with more than 9. Well, I think that the most important trait is the entrepreneur's leadership ability, but there are different leadership styles, right? But I think entrepreneurs' characteristics is their drive, their persistence, and the belief in something greater. They all think big, and Endeavor helps them think bigger. And in the case of Endeavor entrepreneurs, they have to be open to be challenged. So because they meet with so many people and they receive feedback, they have to be open to that and to advice. So that's what makes the difference. We define high impact as an entrepreneur that has the leadership potential to scale their company, to really take it to the next level and to be really successful. But at the same time, this entrepreneur is very engaged with the community. We expect that he or she will become a role model and will inspire others, will become mentor or investor of others, and that's what we call the multiplier effect. That's how we build the ecosystem. That's how we think the ecosystems grow, by creating this multiplier effect, and that's high impact for us. No, we expect them that as they become successful, they will eventually come back and do full circle, which it's a paid forward model. When they become Endeavor entrepreneurs, our value proposition is that we will help them think bigger, make better decisions, and multiply their influence. We do that, the core with mentorship services. I form an advisory board that's targeted to their needs. We have access to partnerships with services organizations that help them grow. Our objective is to accelerate their growth. And we take companies that we call scale-ups. That's a key differentiation for Endeavor. We don't help startups, we help scale-ups. That means companies that already have traction and that can demonstrate that they can scale. As they start becoming successful and grow, we expect that these will be the role models and the inspiration for other entrepreneurs, right? So Endeavor has made a lot of research on ecosystems, and if it's Silicon Valley, New York, or the tech ecosystem in Argentina, it all starts with 3 or 4 very successful cases that inspire others, that their employees become entrepreneurs, that with that liquidity then they invest in other companies, right? And that's how you create that entrepreneurial growth.